want to talk about your newsletter a little bit. How do you come up with some of the ideas for your newsletter?
Over the years, this is the format we use. We have every page has to pay for itself, and we have some kind of an offer on each page. The first page, we'll have some kind of like a new patient special, and then an article about some local celebrity. In my town, everybody's a celebrity, so what we do with that is I'll say, Rossi, I said, you want to be in my newspaper, and we can promote your business, and this is the way it works. I'll give you a couple of free visits if you want to do that. And then what you're going to do in response to that, you're going to pay half the mailing costs. I'm going to promote your business, but you're going to pay half the mailing and printing. So we're going to do 50-50. This would actually be a joint venture, okay? So then on the first pages, we're going to feature usually a local business, and they'll go ahead and do that. The second page, we're going to sell some kind of a product. It could be a pain-relieving cream or a calcium supplement, something we're selling in a bottle or a tube, and then we let them know we have this available, and you can pick it up at the front desk. Third page is what's called the Slack adjuster. That's like the big-ticket item. That makes up for any mistakes, and that'll be, with a chiropractor, that'll either be the work injury or an auto accident ad. And what we'll do is we'll put somebody in there that either had a work injury, and again, we'll give them, some free visits for doing this for us, and we'll feature them in there. Like this guy was a landscape guy. He hurt his back. He got great results here, and here's why, and here's what we did. And so the third page would be a full page of just that guy featured. More ideally, he'd have his own business. And then what we would do is ask him to pay half because we're promoting his business too. Now, do you see where this is going?
Right.
The first page, the guy paid half. The third page, the guy's paying half. And so the last page is our office hours, which is huge. I cannot tell you how important that is. Just putting your hours, and we do the next 2 months. And they change. I mean, they're not in stone, and we tell people these are my ideal hours for the next 2 months. And so they kind of know when you're going to be in and when you're going to be gone. Like if I go to a seminar, that's on there. And then what we'll do is we'll have our office hours. We'll have a calendar like let's say January, February. We'll have those 2 calendars on there. And then the days I'll be in when. And then the other thing will be it'll be testing some new postcard. It may be a postcard that's like a half a page, as opposed to the 4x6 ones, whatever they are. And so we'll either have 2 little ones up there, or we'll have 1 half-page postcard. And we're just testing to see, if anybody responds to it in the newsletter. Because if I have a new postcard, send it out in the newsletter, they respond to it, then I know I can roll that out. If I get no response from people that know me that don't want to take advantage of that, there's no point sending out to a cold market or anybody else. So if your warm market doesn't like it, the cold isn't. I'm not going to look at it. So,
all right.
So anyway, that's pretty much testing whatever, something new that we're doing, and that's pretty much how we do that. So ideally, I'd have the whole thing paid for. We'd feature 2 local businesses. Sell some product at the front desk, and here's what I'm going to be here, and by the way, here's what we got coming up. So that's it.
And that's really smart too, because often when you talk to doctors and you talk about things like newsletters, sometimes one of their biggest things is, well, I can't afford it. Well, from what you're saying though, you don't have to, because you can get someone else to fit the bill. Yeah. And now I'm going to be honest with you. It takes a while to develop that. I mean, you may not get it right away, and over time, then they want to be in it. We have a waiting list of people that want to be in it now because they've seen it. And then what I do, these are like full page ads. I mean 8.5 by 11, full page. And then we will frame those. We'll have a color version. We'll frame those, put them in our office for credibility. We call it social proof or whatever. We have these all hanging up. I got about 50, 100 of these up on the wall. And so when you walk in, you see all these people that have been featured in our newsletter on the walls. And,
It's like, I talk to doctors too, and they go, well, I don't want to do a 4-page newsletter. And I said, well, okay, fine. Here's what you do. Think baby steps. Think gradient. It's okay to have your newsletter on a postcard. It's like, here, just do this. Have a postcard. Have 4 paragraphs, and say, here's when I'll be in this month. Here's the insurances we take. Here's an update to somebody. And just make it a fact thing, like boom, 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 and then just get in the habit of coming up with 4 things a month that you think the patients might want to know. And that's how we started. We started with a postcard, and then over time I thought, wow, what if we do this? What if we do that? And now it's up to 4 pages with the insert, and the insert may be some other deal we're running. And just think baby steps. Think gradient. It's like, okay, I know I need to do this, but what's the simplest thing I can do? Well, send out a postcard, and we still have examples of our very, very old ones, and it had like, we now take this insurance, we no longer take this insurance, and just give them an update, what's going on in the office, and at the end, like, happy holidays or whatever. And it's a real quick read. It's like something you just get in the mail. And, oh, by the way, we have this deal going where you can get this. Thanks, And that's it. So if you do nothing else, at least send them a postcard. Let them know what's going on. So.
Right, and newsletters are awesome relationship-building tools. And like you said, you can start little by little and continue to add to it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think, we started with like a postcard, and then we got like a half a sheet of paper, then 1 piece of paper, both sides were like cardstock, We'd mail that through the, and then we did the typical newsletter where you've seen them where they fold them and they tape them and they make it all like a self-contained mailer. We did those, and I like putting them in an envelope, make it worthwhile. And I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm not one of these Facebook, Twitter guys. I don't even have I'm like the only guy in America that doesn't have Facebook. And don't even get me started on that, But Twitter, I think, is totally useless. But that's just me. Anyway, I like something where you have to open the envelope, pull it out, read it. You can keep it, hang it on the refrigerator. I like that kind of stuff. And
right.
And my daughter has a term called big mail. She's like 30 now, but anyway, she called it big mail, and that would be like you get a big envelope in the mail with like a lumpy mail thing. And she said big mail was the best because you never knew what was in there because it was lumpy and they had all this stuff going on. It was big. And, we learned from that, too. We'll send people stuff like big mail. And people like big mail, And they'll go, well, can I just email them my newsletter? Well, yeah, you can do anything you want. But if you want them to actually do something, you better send it in an envelope or hand address the envelope or, you know what I mean? Make it look like a letter.
Hi, I want to thank you for listening to this exclusive interview on HiddenChiroInterviews.com. For more interviews like this on chiropractic marketing, business building, and practice management, visit Rossi Eason's HiddenChiroInterviews.com. That's HiddenChiroInterviews.com.